Hey, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC 193. I'm still in shock and disbelief. Uh, yeah, Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holm, it was the main event. So yeah, this post-fight show, the main card. And yeah, my afterthoughts of the main card and my predictions. Was I right? Was I wrong? And I was both very much right and very much wrong, and I'll break it down in this episode. So, yeah, let's get started, shall we? So the main event was Holly, the preacher's daughter, Holm versus Rowdy Ronda Rousey for the UFC Women's Bantamweight Championship of the World. And like a lot of people, my prediction on this fight was Ronda Rousey first round armbar. I figured that she would get maybe tagged a little bit from Holly Holm, and then that'll just motivate her to want to clinch up and then eventually work in that judo toss. And then once she got that judo toss, she would be on top of Holm and quickly and effectively work her way into an armbar. But, youch, was I wrong on that? Yeah, she did go for a judo throw, didn't get it, and just struggled and got rocked. Holm found her range quick from the get-go, was tagging Rousey. Then it looked pretty much downhill from there. Wow. Oh man. I mean, I'm a fan of both of these ladies. They both seem like nice ladies. So I'm not angry or upset or but there is that shock value because I was really expecting out of all my picks for this one to be the one I was for sure right about. So yeah, it was KO, head kick and punches, round 2, 59 seconds into it. Yeah, Holly Holm just dominated Ronda Rousey in the first round, and then the second round dominated Rousey some more, and then landed that head kick, and then after Rousey fell down, she just teed off on Rousey and got KO, round 2 victory. Good job, Holly Holm. I disagree with the Vegas odds having it be like a 21-1 favorite for Ronda Rousey. I think that was overblown, ridiculous. That I do agree. Like some have said that was ridiculous. I think if anything, Vegas odds should have been more like 5-1 favorite for Ronda Rousey or something. But not like 21-1. Because I kind of figured Holly Holm would at least be able to hold her own for a slight bit, if anything, and have that window of opportunity. And man, it was pretty much she opened the door for that window of opportunity. Yeah, wow. Oh man. Yeah, Holly Holm did her thing. She found her range perfectly, landed some good kicks, landed some good strikes, ended it with a kick and some strikes and punches. And yeah, Holly Holm did her thing. Our new UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion of the world. Wow. I would love to see a rematch, and if there's no immediate rematch, which I don't see why there wouldn't be, then I think Holly Holm should fight just Juliana Pena or Misha Tate. Yeah, so that would be some options. And of course, if Cyborg makes the weight, have Holly Holm fight Cyborg. So you do have a lot of options for the current champ now. And most likely it'll be immediate rematch, and I think that'll be a good fight. And it will be a huge sell on pay-per-view. So yeah, and it's just Ronda Rousey being such a dominant champion for so long. I think that fight makes a lot of sense, and she definitely deserves a rematch to try to get her belt back. Wow. So then on to the co-main event, which was Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Valerie Letourneau for the UFC Women's Strawweight title. Yeah, this one was the biggest favored on the whole card. I was trying to figure this out. I believe it was 22-1 favorite for Joanna. And I thought that was ridiculous. That was beyond your belief ridiculous. I don't know who came up with those odds. I think it should have been more like, you know, 3-1 favorite for Joanna. Because, I mean, Valerie, you know, her devastation of Moros was just, like, for me, like, that was like the thing that, you know, pretty much guaranteed her a title shot in my eyes. You know, the way she just dominated that girl. So, yeah, Joanna, you know, she stood her own, and this was a points match, and Joanna outlanded. She definitely looked devastating in rounds 3, 4, and 5. Round 1 and 2 looked like Joanna was feeling out her rhythm and stuff, and working her stand-up pretty well. And yeah, she won 49-46 and on 2 of the judges, and then 50-45 on 1 of the judges. And yeah, I could easily see 49-46. I think Valerie won one round. It was either round 1 or round 2. Then round 3, 4, and 5 was definitely all Joanna. And yeah, this was a hard-fought battle for Joanna. Proved that she could go 5 rounds, and she could be challenged and step up to the plate. Yeah, Valerie put up a good fight for the belt. I mean, she really tried her best, you know, with what she had at that point in time, and I think Valerie will take away from this fight a lot. She gained a lot of experience and knowledge with this fight, and you know, Valerie will be back. I think stronger from this, and I think Joanna as a champion learned a lot and about perseverance, and I think that you know, the fight, which from the look of things, Joanna's next fight is against Claudia Gadelha, and that's going to be a good rematch, and I think that will be Joanna's toughest test of all her title defenses. I got that fight coming across very much like this fight, but even harder for Joanna. I think it's going to be a closer fight than this fight. I could see Joanna pulling away with the victory in that fight, but I could see Claudia getting 1 or 2 rounds and that fight going to a decision as well. Not to take anything away from Joanna, just her competition's pretty steep right now, I think. So, yeah, Joanna looked good. It was just a striking war, and pretty much, and you know, she outboxed. It was pretty much a boxing match, and Joanna outboxed Valerie. It was pretty impressive. Yeah, then also on the main card, in the heavyweight division, we had Mark Hunt versus Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Yeah, this one I got perfectly right. Mark Hunt landed a shot. Was a TKO punches round 1. 3 minutes and 41 seconds into the first round. Yeah, I just knew that Mark Hunt would eventually land, and that he would take notes from the last fight. I was even shocked that the last fight went to a draw and went to a decision. You know, I had the first fight, I picked Mark Hunt in the first fight, and the fact that, you know, it went to a decision shocked me, and then this one turned out pretty much the way I thought the first fight should have turned out, where Mark Hunt wins by first round knockout, because Mark Hunt can take punches versus Antonio Silva. For whatever reason, he just, you know, can get knocked out easily on any given day. So yeah, Mark Hunt wins, and he definitely moves up the ladder a little bit, and it was a good clean win for Mark Hunt, so good job. Then also on the main card in the middleweight division, we had Robert Whittaker versus Uriah Hall. This one I was shocked and devastated with. Uriah Hall was trying to land some flashy moves, and I thought in my pre-fight show that these flashy moves would land, but there was times where they just weren't landing, or he was hesitant and he pulled back. Robert Whittaker did a good job. He won yeah, 30-27 on two of the judges and 29-28 on one of the judges. I can see how maybe Hall won round 3, but the first 2 rounds were definitely Robert Whitaker. Robert Whitaker found his range and put on a good striking clinic in the stand-up department against Hall. And Robert Whitaker has a chin on him, and he can go 3 rounds and not get too tired. So good job, Robert Whitaker. He's a veteran. Just man, it was a good win in his neck of the woods. So he moves up the ladder. Maybe Robert Whitaker in some rankings will be ranked number 10. I say why not? I mean, he beat the number 10 ranked middleweight. So yeah, Robert Whitaker can now be considered a top 10 ranked middleweight in the UFC. Yeah, that fight was it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Then also on the main card in the heavyweight division, we had Jared Rosholt versus Stefan Struve. This one shocked me. This is one of the fights I was wrong about. Jared Rosholt won 29-28 across the board. Unanimous decision over Stefan Struve. Stefan Struve, he looked clueless at times and he looked confused, and there were times where Jared Rosholt was able to take him down, and I thought that Stefan would have stuffed more takedowns, and also Stefan would definitely be a killer on his back, going for submissions that Jared Rosholt would immediately want to pop right back up. And then that would leave it open for Stefan Struve to go for some more knockouts. And it didn't quite play out like that, but there were moments where Stefan was going for submissions, but he just wasn't aggressive enough, and I think that's what cost him this match. Is he wasn't aggressive enough on the ground or the stand-up, and Jared was takedowns and good hard strikes, got him up against the cage, and was just aggressor and outlanded and outpointed and took down Stefan Struve. Yeah, Jared Rosholt, he's not the most glamorous heavyweight, but he's a talented heavyweight who's, I think, getting better with his striking overall. Always had good wrestling. His submission defense is there. I'm a Jared Rosholt fan. He's a grinder. And yeah, so he won this by unanimous decision. Good job, Jared Rosholt. Overall, my fantasy, there's 13 fights on this whole card, and I got 8 picks correct and 5 incorrect. On this main card, I was 2-3, but on the Fight Pass prelims, I was 3-1, and on the Fox Sports 1 prelims, I was 3-1. So 8-5 altogether, not too shabby. Yeah, there you have it. Yeah, did a good overview of this card. I mean, there's some tricky matches on here. Ryan Benoit, shocked that he got submitted on the prelims. This is the guy that took out Sergio Pettis in the flyweight division. Yeah, but overall, just amazing event, top to bottom. The prelims were more exciting than the main card overall, with the exception of the Rousey fight and the Joanna fight. And, well, the Mark Hunt fight was a flashy knockout. Yeah, so that wraps up the post-fight show for UFC 193. Stay tuned for my next episode, which will be a pre-fight show for Ultimate Fighter Latin America Season 2 finale. Gastelum versus Magny, is it? Yep, Magny versus Gastelum is the main event in that one, and then also the finalists of that season. So stay tuned for my pre-fight show of that card coming up. Yeah, so that should be pretty fun. Yeah, until then, see ya.